Discipline is the new motivation. Master it.
They told you to wait for motivation. They told you to feel ready. They told you inspiration would come like a lightning bolt and change everything. But here's the truth no one said out loud. Motivation is a visitor. Discipline is a resident. Motivation knocks when life is easy. Discipline shows up when life is heavy. Motivation feels good. Discipline does good. And in a world addicted to feelings, discipline has become a forgotten superpower. Look around. Most people aren't failing because they lack talent. They're failing because they lack control. Control over their thoughts, control over their time, control over their impulses, control over the small daily choices that quietly decide the direction of a life. Dale Carnegie understood this long before social media, before hustle culture, before dopamine hijacked attention. He knew that success is not built on intensity, it's built on consistency. Not on bursts of emotion, but on habits anchored in self-command. Discipline is not punishment. Discipline is self-respect in action. When you wake up early, even when your body begs you to stay in bed, that is discipline. When you work in silence while others announce their plans, that is discipline. When you choose the long road over the easy one, that is discipline. And every time you choose it, you are telling yourself one thing: I can be trusted. That trust compounds. Think of Thomas Edison. Thousands of failures, endless nights, no applause, no viral clips, just a man who showed up again and again while the world slept. Motivation didn't carry him through those dark hours. Discipline did. The quiet decision to return to the work when nothing seemed to work. Or Abraham Lincoln, shaped not by sudden inspiration, but by relentless endurance. Loss after loss, defeat after defeat, yet he disciplined his mind to stay steady when everything else collapsed. He learned to govern himself before he governed a nation. Discipline is not loud. It doesn't demand attention. It builds in the dark, and that's why most people avoid it. Because discipline requires honesty. It forces you to face what you're doing when no one is watching. It removes excuses. It strips away the comforting lie that someday things will magically change. No, change is commanded. The disciplined mind does not negotiate with weakness. It does not wait for perfect conditions. It does not ask permission from fear. It moves, calmly, deliberately, relentlessly. Motivation says, I'll try. Discipline says, I will. And here's the shift that changes everything. Discipline is not something you were born with. It is trained, like a muscle, weak at first, shaking under small weight, but strengthened through repetition. You don't become disciplined by making grand promises. You become disciplined by keeping small ones. One early morning, one focused hour, one hard conversation, one uncomfortable decision. Over time, these choices shape identity. You don't rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your discipline. That's why vision without discipline becomes fantasy. Belief without discipline becomes wishful thinking. Even talent without discipline becomes regret. Walt Disney was fired for lacking imagination, yet he disciplined his vision when others dismissed it. He kept building, refining, returning to the work. What the world now calls genius was, at its core, disciplined persistence. Discipline is choosing growth over comfort, purpose over pleasure, direction over distraction. And yes, it will feel lonely. Discipline often does. While others celebrate shortcuts, you'll be laying foundations. While others chase trends, you'll be sharpening skills. While others quit quietly, you'll still be standing. That loneliness is not a curse, it is a signal. It means you've stepped off the crowded path. The disciplined person doesn't ask, how do I feel today? They ask, what does this moment require? And they act accordingly. This is where belief transforms. Not belief as hope, but belief as commitment. The belief that your future deserves your present effort. The belief that the unseen work matters. The belief that character is built when applause is absent. Discipline aligns your actions with your values. It closes the gap between who you say you want to be and who you are becoming. Every disciplined action is a vote for your future self, and slowly, quietly, you begin to change. Your posture shifts, your confidence deepens, not because life got easier, but because you got stronger. This is the new motivation. Not hype, not noise, not emotion, but mastery. Master your morning and you master your momentum. Master your habits and you master your direction. Master your discipline and motivation becomes irrelevant because you no longer depend on feelings to move forward. You move because you decided to. And that decision, repeated daily, is how ordinary people build extraordinary lives.
You begin to notice something subtle when discipline takes root. The chaos inside you starts to quiet. The mind that once jumped from urge to urge begins to obey direction. You are no longer dragged by moods. You are led by intention. This is not rigidity. This is freedom. Because the undisciplined mind is a slave to comfort, to distraction, to the opinions of others. Discipline breaks those chains. Dale Carnegie spoke often about self-mastery not as domination, but as alignment. When your thoughts, your words, and your actions point in the same direction, you stop leaking energy. You stop starting over. You stop negotiating with yourself every morning like a divided nation arguing its own future. Discipline unifies you. Most people don't realize how exhausting inconsistency is. Promising and quitting, starting and stopping, feeling inspired one day and defeated the next. That cycle drains confidence. It teaches the mind that its own words don't matter. Discipline reverses that lesson. It teaches the mind a new truth. When I decide, I follow through. And confidence is born there, not from praise, not from wins, but from self-trust. Henry Ford didn't change the world because he was always motivated. He changed it because he was relentlessly disciplined in his thinking. While others accepted limits, he questioned assumptions. While others saw obstacles, he saw systems to be redesigned. Discipline of thought precedes discipline of action. What you allow your mind to dwell on determines what your hands will eventually build. A disciplined mind does not indulge in useless worry. It does not rehearse failure. It does not romanticize struggle. It focuses. It simplifies. It asks better questions. What matters most right now? What is the next right action? What can I control in this moment? And then it acts. Clarity is a byproduct of discipline. When you remove distractions, purpose becomes audible. When you commit to fewer things, you execute better. Discipline is not about doing more. It's about doing what matters with precision. This is where vision sharpens, not as a distant dream, but as a daily directive. Vision without discipline is just imagination. Discipline gives vision a spine. It forces you to break the future down into today's actions. It turns ambition into a schedule. You don't need to see the whole staircase. Discipline teaches you to take the next step without drama. One page written, one workout finished, one skill practiced, one promise kept. Over time, these steps build momentum that motivation could never sustain. There will be days when discipline feels heavy, days when progress is invisible, days when effort seems unrewarded. This is where most people quit, not because they failed, but because they misunderstood the process. Discipline is not a bargain with immediate results. It is a contract with delayed rewards. Lincoln endured years where his discipline produced no applause, only resistance. Yet those years forged the steadiness that history remembers. Resilience is simply discipline applied under pressure. The ability to continue without reassurance, to remain calm when outcomes are uncertain, to keep standards high when circumstances are low. Adaptability lives here too. Discipline is not stubbornness. It is not repeating what no longer works. It is the discipline to learn, to adjust, to refine, to admit error without abandoning effort, to pivot without panic. The disciplined person is always learning, not casually, but intentionally. They read with purpose, they listen with curiosity, They seek feedback without ego, because discipline humbles you. It reminds you that growth requires openness, that mastery is never finished. Gratitude enters quietly at this stage, not as passive appreciation, but as grounded perspective. Discipline teaches you to value effort itself, to respect the process, to be grateful for the work, the struggle, the chance to improve. Gratitude stabilizes ambition. It keeps hunger from turning into desperation. And slowly, almost without noticing, your presence changes. People feel it. You speak with more certainty. You move with less hesitation, not because you know everything, but because you trust your ability to figure things out. This is the authority that cannot be faked, the authority of someone who governs themselves. Discipline becomes identity. You are no longer trying to be disciplined, you are disciplined. It shows in how you manage time, how you respond to setbacks, how you treat commitments. Your word carries weight because you honor it first. And motivation? Motivation starts showing up more often, not as a necessity, but as a byproduct, because action creates emotion, not the other way around. Progress fuels motivation. Discipline creates progress. This is the quiet revolution. No slogans, no shortcuts, just daily mastery. You don't need to dominate the world. You need to dominate your excuses. You don't need to feel powerful. You need to act with principle when it's inconvenient. Discipline is the bridge between who you are and who you are capable of becoming. Master it, and nothing external can control your direction. And once you understand this, truly understand it, you stop waiting for motivation to save you. You become the force that moves.
Discipline is the quiet decision to keep going when the noise fades, when nobody is clapping, when nobody is watching, when the world has moved on to something easier. That is where lives are decided. Because the truth is brutal but freeing. Your future is not built on your best days. It is built on your most ordinary ones. The days you felt tired and still showed up. The days you doubted yourself and still did the work. The days you wanted comfort but chose character instead. That is discipline. Most people wait for motivation to save them. They wait for confidence to arrive. They wait for conditions to improve. And quietly, year after year, their potential expires. But disciplined people live differently. They understand something most never will. Feelings are unreliable. Circumstances are temporary. But standards shape destiny. Discipline is choosing standards over moods. It is waking up and deciding that your future matters more than your comfort. It is saying no to what feels good now so you can say yes to what matters later. And listen carefully. Discipline does not make life smaller. It makes life powerful. Because once you master yourself, nothing outside you can control you. Fear loses its grip. Distraction loses its pull. Excuses lose their voice. You stop asking, "Can I do this?" and start declaring, "This is who I am." That is the moment identity shifts. You are no longer someone trying to be disciplined. You are someone who moves with intention, who keeps promises, who finishes what they start, who understands that greatness is not dramatic, it is deliberate. History doesn't remember the most motivated people. It remembers the most disciplined ones. The ones who stayed when it was boring. The ones who worked when it was lonely. The ones who built when nobody believed. And one day, quietly, you will look back and realize something profound. The discipline you practiced in silence became the confidence you now carry in public. Your habits became your character. Your character became your destiny. This is not about perfection. This is about commitment. So decide right now, not tomorrow, not when you feel ready, now. Decide to master your mornings. Decide to master your time. Decide to master your discipline. Because motivation will always come and go. But discipline stays. And when you master it, your future will have no choice but to rise and meet you.